Hello, hello, apa khabar? Selamat datang and welcome to Virtually Peranakan Fest 2023, celebrating our colorful culture. Welcome to the festival. My name is Alvin Un, the organizer and host from Peranakan Sayang. This is our fourth year of this annual online festival to keep our culture alive and kicking. And it is for Peranakans around the world. Do say hi in the comment section and tell us where in the world that you are watching this festival from. I hope you have been well. Suma baik, sehat. Thank you so much for joining us, Kamsia. And today I have my co-host who will be joining with me from Malacca is my good friend. He is none other than Cedric Tan. Hello, Baba.
Hello, Bye Alvin. Selamat tengari
Mm,
all the way from Melaka.
yeah, good to see you.
Yes, nice weather out there, cloudy and cool. I hope everybody is fine, and we are getting ready to kick off the
Yeah,
Peranakan Fest
and
2023 today.
And we should kick off because we've got so much to share. We have the next program that we have today. It's the Peranakan and Straits Chinese Heritage Shophouses and Mansions in Penang. Do you love this topic, Ba?
Oh yes, I'm living in one typical old shop lot, so I can definitely relate very well to that building actually.
Yes.
Okay, let's not waste any more time. I guess everybody out there is getting anxious to listen to our first presenter for this afternoon, right, Baba
Mm,
Alvin?
yes, that's right. And she's, of course, from Penang. And she's none other than Lillian Tong. Yes, let's bring her on, shall we? Hello,
Yes, let's bring on.
Nya.
Hello. Hello
Wow,
from
good to
Hello,
see
Penang.
Nyonya.
you.
Actually, in the first place, we all must congratulate Lillian Tong. She has been conferred datukship recently by the governor of Penang.
Betul.
So,
Yeah. Should we address her as Datuk from
Lillian
now on?
Tong,
Thank you.
so hard effort. She
Hello,
has been
Datuk.
promoting Peranakan culture in Penang and all over the world. Yeah. So well done.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah. I
Thank
got
you,
no
All
Datuk.
right.
Cedric.
I got Batuk
I
only.
hope you're
Batuk.
getting ready. You're ready. Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah, Lillian. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Let me do a quick introduction in regards to your topic for today, and then after that, all system goes for you. All
Yep.
right. So we begin this festival by discovering the beautiful and quaint Peranakan Straits Chinese heritage shop houses and mansions that still exist in Penang. We uncover the history and stories of this classic building with Nyonya Lillian Tong, or my story, Datuk Lillian Tong, who is currently the Vice President of the Penang State Chinese Association and also the Museum Director for the renowned Penang Peranakan Mansion. So without wasting much time, I hand it over to you, Nyonya Lillian.
Thank
Yeah.
you,
Take it away.
Cedric. Thank you, Alvin. All right. Now come with me around Georgetown and Penang to visit the beautiful shop houses and mansions and more. That is in Penang. Okay. Now, for in the old pictures that you see, there is this streets where they have all the shop houses. So those shop houses was existing as even maybe before Captain Francis Light founded Penang. There were already settlements, and then when he came over, he built the shop houses because there were why? Because there were traders. So the traders came, and then they the early traders were indentured workers or just adventurers, and they came. So as you can see, even in the next picture, there were even more shop houses now along Beach Street. Sorry, okay, sorry. Okay, then next. All right, so Penang was very special, as is Malacca and Singapore, because we were port cities. And so a lot of traders came. And because of that, our influence was, we had a lot of influence from whether the food, the clothing, like we now know about Kabaya, right? And also the buildings. So today we're going to explore the buildings that we are going to see in Georgetown. Okay, next screen. All right. So is it a shop house? Is it a shop or a shop house? So the first earliest shop house. Why is it? Is it a shop or a house? Well, actually, they were shops because they were doing work, and then they were trading and having businesses, especially the earlier years when they needed to do trading, and they just lived upstairs. So it actually then you get the term shop house. So the earliest ones were like this, very simple. In fact, the upper floor was very low, and then there's the down lower floor, and there were already walkways, and it actually the top upper floor extends outwards, and then we have let's see this the next slide is from Georgetown World Heritage, and they actually identified the particular materials that were used, like say U-shaped tiles in these old shop houses. And you will notice that the earlier shop houses, they had paneling. That means wood paneling for the doors. In fact, it's just like in Nepal or even in India, where the whole front of the shop is paneled with wood. Then they just remove the wood, and then at night they will just close up all the put the wood together, all the wood planks together, and lock it up. Okay, next one is examples in Penang that you can see still today. And I had a walk in Armenian Street. Oh my, I think I did Georgetown and Penang in these 2 days, going around taking photos. So at Armenian Street, it's like the most amazing styles that exist is also in just one street, and that's in Armenian Street. So you can see the old shop houses, and of course now they have renovated it a bit. Okay, then let's go on to the next one, and that's the Straits Chinese style, which is a more that is because the Chinese traders came in, and then they decided to bring in their own architectural elements, and so that's why they have all this. And in this style, you will see that actually in the upper floor is higher now with air vents, and then they started to have combed wood doors. That means like just one like a comb, yeah, going through. And later years, it was quite amazing that in some houses, the comb doors, you can actually slide them, and then they will be opened. Like so there were two combs. There are two combs together, right? One is stuck to the door, and one is movable. So they can be moved to close, or they can be moved and open. Then you can see, then you can feel the breeze in, or you can actually capture, look out and see what's going on. So again, thanks to Arts Education and Georgetown World Heritage Site, we have this slides. And there's one person that I really must thank, and that is Tan Yao Wei. He wrote the book Shop House, and he's my friend, and he was the winner of 2 UNESCO awards for conservation of old heritage buildings. One is a Tai Pa Kung Temple, which we won just last year, and the Hanjiang Temple, which we won a few years back. So he was the one who actually put together, and all my materials came from his book Shop House by Tan Yao Wei. And he when he won the Tai Pa Kung Temple Conservation Award from UNESCO, very sadly, before the day that he was, like a week before the prize giving, he left us. So we are very sad. But Penang is very fortunate to have a lot of conservation architects like Lawrence Low and my friend Uwe Bokkin. So from them that I learn all this, and sometimes I go to them to verify. Okay, so then you will see the different houses that are, see the next picture shows you the air vents. On the left, you can see the little air vents, and the doors are combed. And this one looks like, yeah, it is combed. So the earlier houses were a bit narrow, the doors, and later they went to bigger ones. So the next one also shows you the row of houses with all these air vents. The next picture. Yeah. And let's go on to the next style. Oops. Let's see. The early Straits eclectic. So it became eclectic because it was so mixed already. And it became prettier by now. Let's see. So the early Straits eclectic have a bit more differences. And one of the things that you can notice, or if you're taking a walk in Georgetown, is that they started to have air vents and sometimes even carved doors. But the I think one feature that helps me identify is look at the upper floors. Now the windows, the shutters, the louvered shutters are now full length. They are door length. So it really opens up, and I can imagine so cooling. And by the way, all these houses are built with very, very thick walls. So they help to insulate against the hot weather, the sun. So it was quite fantastic architectural engineering at that time. Then forward to the late Straits eclectic. Now the late Straits eclectic style, I would say that this is like the most Nyonya or Baba Nyonya. Then comes in all the Baroque style, the decorations on the wall. You can see the building is like more lively and has character already. And also that is because the people were now affluent. There was rubber and there was tin mining and people were affluent. So the early Penang style was because people just came and they were poor and they were working very hard. But by this time, the late Straits eclectic, the people have made their fortune. And actually very proud of these people. So from those houses now they have moved into these beautiful houses. But all careful, the way that they plan for this house are so careful that they always have an area for light, ventilation, and rain. So there you see the styles in Penang. So actually, if you come to Penang, you can do a tour of the shophouse styles, especially for architectural students. And saying that, I actually was doing a lot of research and I found that almost all, of 75%, if not all, of the papers that I read, they referred back to Tan Yao Wei. So I really am so grateful to him. So by the way, I am not an architect. So today's talk is not like I can tell you a lot of things, about the structures and all that. But I have an interest because I belong to Penang Heritage Trust. And I also work with Georgetown World Heritage Sites for conservation and for community intangible cultural heritage activities. And lately also, I'm the resource person for ICROM. All the World Heritage Site managers, they met in Penang. So it was very nice to discuss with them and learn new things from them. Okay, the next picture is, of course, very detailed, show you how when people have affluence and they then have time to enjoy the house, then they started to decorate them because it was not just like I just needed to open my shop and make money today. It was time to enjoy their home. And the next slide actually shows you the interior of the home, but today we are just doing the exterior, okay? Interior, you have to wait 1 more year next year, okay? We'll go and do the interiors. So the exterior is very common, and I think I'm not very familiar with Malacca. I mean, I've been to Malacca, but I think that some of the houses, according to our Heritage Commissioner, who was from Malacca, is not quite like Penang. So, but I think the styles are the same about. Then the next slide shows you how the things have progressed, okay? From those days, remember, they were very poor. And so they had this early Penang style. And then it grew with affluence and wealth. And then came the next thing to catch Penangites' fancy, the Art Deco style. So suddenly this was like doing away with all the flourishes and the decorations that are in the late Straits eclectic, and it became to be more flat and clean lines. And strangely, always with a flagpole. So, after doing this research, it was very interesting when I drove around, like, oh, flagpole. And then you begin to notice that, yeah, there's a number of buildings with flagpoles in Penang. So this is the Art Deco style. And of course, Georgetown World Heritage and Arts Ed have, these are actually pictures from, I think, Tan Yao-Wei's book, helping you to identify the styles that came with it. So these are usually like guilds, and they're not houses anymore. They are like even banks, associations. A lot of Chinese associations built them in this style. Okay, so let's see the around Penang, all the styles there is, and that is Art Deco. So very flat. And I think at this time, they started to put the year that they were made, the year the building was made on the buildings. So I saw that a lot in Penang too. And sometimes even the trademark of the shop, like goldsmiths or whatever, they will then put them as plaster on the wall. So it's like embossed, so you can see them. So that's our Odeon Cinema, very sad story. It was to be demolished, I think, like last year. Then, of course, Penang Heritage Trust and a few people who are conservationists, they pleaded to the government not to destroy this, because according to Kusama, this is, oops, sorry, this is one of the few art modern. So it's not just Art Deco, it's art modern. Now, early modern style. When you're doing a research on something like this, it amazes me, because my eyes were open like enlightenment. And then I went around, and do you know in Penang, like how many buildings, when they are at a street corner, of course the streets are curved, the buildings curved with the streets, they are not angular, they are not like a rectangular building, they are all curved. And you can see the different styles. Okay, let's look at the characteristics of this art modern or art modern. The next one shows you the houses in Penang that I found, drove around and looked and found this. Okay, so you see they're all wrapped around, they are all rounded, and especially under the roof, the eaves, if that's called the eaves, they are even decorated. So it's just so beautiful. And they also have, like, I think, the two lower pictures very sad. There's the Rex Cinema, and the new owner decided that rounded tunnel is unsightly, so he put up a board. He boarded it up. And okay, now let's go on to the next slide, and that's on the roofs. Now, roofs are either pitched, which means they are like this. Jack roof is there's a roof, and then there's another one above. So actually, it allows ventilation to go in between. And then the gable and gable ends. Now, gable and gable ends are very exciting, because you can see whether they are earth, wind, or fire. So they come in different, the Chinese 5 elements, gold or metal. So gold or metal is rounded. Then the wood, which is angular. And water, which is wavy. And then there's the earth, which is squarish. Oops. And okay, I've gone wrong. And what's this? Yeah, keyboard is okay. Earth and what's that? Oh, inverted V. Okay, so let's have a look at the type of roofs that we can find. And so that's how they look: the gold, the wood, the fire, the water, and the normal inverted V. So these are also normally found in temple walls, like our association and temples. And also, actually, these walls are between houses. These walls are built very, very high as a fire protection, so that it's a fire break, so that if there's one house on fire, it will not go over the other one because the walls are very, very high. All right, now the wall paints and plasters. So the background of this is one of the colors that they use, indigo, which is why we have the blue mentioned. They also use whitewash, lime wash, and later years I've seen yellow. So these paints and even the walls themselves are actually breathable. So they are made of lime and they can breathe. And even the floors. Okay, let's look at the next slide to show you how it breathes. You see? So it's like so amazing that I have people living in these houses, old houses with terracotta tiles, and they told me that, they just need to scrub the terracotta floor, like say the kitchen, and then 强坠, just pour water on the floor, and the water will run into the chimche, which is the air well. And then you just leave it to dry. You don't even have to mop it up because the water seeps into the ground. So these are all breathable. The floor is breathable and the walls are breathable. So today, we cannot earth ourselves anymore because we have all this concrete cement and we cannot earth ourselves. So we need to go for forest bathing and take off your shoes and walk. And also the other thing is that earlier people who actually tried to restore their homes or renovate the homes, they started to paint them. No more lime wash. I don't want only the whites and the blues. Let's have more colors. And so they very happily went and bought ICI or duplex paints. And then the walls were damaged because the paint prevents the wall from breathing. And so in these houses, then they had this pop, pop, pop. The walls started to pop. There will be or flake because the walls like sesak nafas, cannot breathe. So they're little bubbles. Yeah. So now conservation is very strict, and they will show them how to do it. So if you have a house to restore, you can just inform Georgetown World Heritage, and they will come and help you. So these are the paints and the bricks. The next slide shows you. So Malacca has the first one, of course, cement bricks. The second one is where Malacca also have these tiles because Baba House did once a tour there, and they showed us, look, the tiles during the Dutch times are very thin, very narrow, not like today, very thick. Oh, by the way, the last slide was showing you how the paint started to peel, and you can see the layers of colors that was before, and they peeled because of the modern paints. Okay, now let's go on to the flooring. Look at our colorful tiles. Like Alvin said, our colorful Peranakan culture. All these colorful tiles, and remember the late eclectic, Straits eclectic, a lot of bunga-bunga, corak-corak, more is more. And this one particular house in the next slide shows you that a close-up of the tiles they use on the wall and on the floor. So these are encaustic tiles. So now, but by the way, the encaustic tiles are very special because they can. It is said that they can last so many 100 years, a century of walking, because they were made 1/8 of an inch. The paint on the encaustic tiles, which is the encaustic tiles, are then put together to become tessellated tiles. They are 1/8 of an inch thick. So that's how they came to last for so long. Okay, let's go on to doors. Okay, doors are timber comb, you know already, the one with like, straight. And then solid timber doors, very hardy. Then there's a sliding door. That sliding door is like just metal or even wood, they slide to lock, extra prevention. And then later, carved timber, which now you find a lot in Penang, carved timber door. And of course, the half doors. We do not find many half doors in Penang. So they are like the cowboy saloon doors. pintu pagar. Yeah. Then and do you know back in those days the doors don't have locks on the outside. You cannot come home and try to open the lock with your key. No, because people don't leave the house. It was never unoccupied. It was always not left unattended because there were either your maids or your wife or somebody, kids in the house. And so it's only locked from the inside. Right. Then more doors. So you can see the different how sometimes some are like the one on the top left, very muted, and then it became more colorful. So I think the more colorful ones are more current. So the last two at the bottom on the right and middle are actually Chris Ong's home, the owner of Seven Terraces. So that's his house on Mantri Street. Mantri Street has also very beautiful houses, beautiful doors, beautiful facades. Mantri and Armenian Street. Oh, look at that. So there are different other doors that we need to mention, and that's the iron grill. And then, of course, the one far on the right is a really thick security metal doors. And the pintu pagar, which is about, I only saw two in Penang in my this weekend going around taking photos. Okay, 5 footways. Well, it is said that Stamford Raffles built them in India, and then he brought the idea to Malaya. But then we know that early Penang already had 5 footways. So they help to shelter against rain and sun, which is very nice. But today's, this is also Seven Terrace walkway, of course I choose because so cantik. But otherwise, some others, they block them up with motorcycles and a lot of messy stuff. All right, windows. Let's see windows. Now it's so amazing. Look at on the right, far right, the top one is nice, pale blue. That's the old-fashioned style, like a bar sauna. And then on the left, pula is Gothic windows. Now this is a Chinese Mandarinate style house, which is Pinang Peranakan mentioned, with its air bells and all that. But it has Gothic windows, so that's how people were so eclectic and fusion. And then, of course, the one that's with the Art Nouveau colored glass belongs to Blue Mansion. And the one next to Blue Mansion on the right-hand side is actually also from Pinang Peranakan Mansion. Beautiful etched glass. Then air bells. Okay, look at the air bell. Now, the next slide shows you the one on top is Pinang Peranakan Mansion's air bell. And the other two, because it's so decorative, I think I got this picture from, I don't know where it was in my file, probably Malacca. Although China House has got nice air bells too. Then with it, air vents. So you see the houses are built so well planned. The walls are breathable, the floor is too, and then air vents to allow air to come in, except the middle one that's made of glass. Hey, look, the middle one at the bottom, what does it remind you of? Does it remind you of lips showing their gigi? Yeah, and so these are all bat wings. Bats are good luck, right? Because a bat is full, so all this good luck channel for the air to come in. Wall decorations started to appear with the late eclectic styles, and they were either stuccos made of plaster, and then murals, that means they paint them, and this chenyan, which is they use porcelain and they cut them and then they plaster them together to form a picture, and you find these on the ridges of temples, but also in some houses. And I've seen those in Malacca too. All right, then we go on to the floors. There are granite, terracotta, hydraulic cement, mosaic, the colorful little tiles. That's very colorful and pretty. And of course, the Minton tiles, which is from Stoke-on-Trent. They are put together to make them tessellated, the entire floor. Can you imagine? They didn't think it was too much like a house, the floor so beasting, so many pattern, they just like, but then it actually flows with the house. It's so strange that they would even think of having such a decorated floor. And of course, floorboards for the upper floors. So the house with the yellow door, and you can see the terracotta wall, flooring, and the maholica tiles on the walls. These are very basic windows and comb doors. All right, so there's a terracotta wall tiles and always the granite slabs. Now, granite slabs came, a lot of them came because they were used as ship ballast. Now, those days when the ships from, say, India, they're coming with empty ship, and then they need to take all the goods from China to the west. So it was too light. So they had to put a lot of these granites into the ships to stabilize it. And then when they reached Penang, they just threw them, and then we pick them up and make stairs like this. So they fill our air wells and all that because there was so many granite, much, abounding that you can just pick them up. Then the floors, look at our colorful. I can't imagine why they ever thought of floors like this. Oh yeah, but it was from England. So what the English have, we must also have. So more floors and more floors. And of course, the next slide, the one on top shows you the tile. All smaller, colorful ones on walls and sometimes on floors. Staircase. Now look at this beautiful staircase on the right. So beautiful. And if you were to go to Blue Mansion and take a photo, it will look like this. It's not just special camera trick and all that. It's just that place. Every time you take a photo, because the walls are all indigo, it just gives you that beautiful glow. So it's spiral, so you can walk down and not get my book. I think this one is, I don't know whether it's wood or metal. The metal ones, Nyonyas have to be careful because our kasumane get caught in there, then we get stuck on the staircase in a spiral. Then the balustrade and the underside. Let's look at the underside of staircases. So like in Malacca, look, the underside. Sometimes you never think to look and or even realize that they're there. And then when you read about it, then it's like, oh yeah, look at the designs underside. And of course, going up all the staircase is a lot of patterns also. Here in Penang, Peranakan mentioned is Prince of Wales feathers and the Bunga Tanjung. And mansions, bungalows, and villas next. And a surprise at the end. Okay, now mansions, bungalows, and villas. So from the shop house already, jadi sangat kaya raya already. So here is the Look Villa. And still existing today, now owned by Rebecca Wilkinson. And it is a beautiful spread. I took this picture from Through the Gilded Doors, a book. And this building and it still exists, the garden, although now they've grown bamboo trees, so they for their own privacy. Look Villa, which is on Gurney Drive, overlooking the sea back in those days. One of the film Dr. Sanya San's Road to Dawn was filmed there. Then the next one, now Millionaires Row. So that row, all the people who came and they worked hard for 1-2 generation, and they become big tauke already. And so you have on the far left, on the top is Yap Choi building. Next is my favorite, Sunstead, because they use it for filming. So I think some war movie then we had to run there. And somebody was getting married there. And then down there is 32 Dimension today. And then of course on the right bottom is Yeno Hotel. So the people were going to places like this and enjoying themselves. And then more on Gurney Drive, Millionaires Row, is this Woodville. It's like, see, the cupola at the top. Beautiful. And then further down, Millionaires Row, which is, we call it Northern Road. Today is, I think, Aslan Shah. So on the top left is the Shichong School today, which was formerly a boarding house. And then on the right is Raffles. Is it Raffles by the sea? And then on the bottom left is, I think Penang Swimming Club or Yen Hotel again. And then on the right is Runnymede, which is actually, which is later turned into Raffles by the Sea. Yeah? So Runnymede is a place where the British officers hang out, where they had ballroom dancing and dinners there for the English officers. And then next is our big town hall. Oh, no. This is a McAllister Mansion along McAllister Road. That is now today, you can live in a mansion. It's a boutique hotel, as well as the lower one, the Edison, which is on Leith Street. And this one is Art Deco interior, amazing. Like the even the ceiling and all that. It's so that period. And I think like maybe the only one in Penang that I saw, but maybe there are some I haven't seen. And then the next one is at the bottom is Suffolk House, where Captain Francis Light, the founder of Penang, lived. And on the right is a plan for the City Council. And on top left is a Venus Mansion. And the other one is Dunbar Hall. Now, one time, our festival director, Joe Sidate, told me, Lillian, I want you to come with me one night in Bangkok. So this is like some cute phrase. Bangkok Lane in Penang, which is just a few streets from where I live. And look, everything here on this page is found in Bangkok Lane. And Bangkok Lane, the whole row, right and left, the whole length of Bangkok Lane belongs to one family, a Mr. Chia, who bought up the whole row and gave all to his children. So today, the descendants still live here. And I think recently I heard it's being sold to Singaporean. But look at this beautiful architecture, like and the glass work and all that. So it is a very pleasant place to walk down in the morning. Next one is, I tried to get a better picture on the left-hand side, but this is what happened. It used to be a French restaurant. Now, those days, we also have houses with chuka. That means at the bottom of the house, it's raised to cool the house. Sometimes families can live in there, under there, if it's raised high enough. Like my auntie, Auntie Bobby has got a house with a chuka. So her sister-in-law lived at the chuka downstairs. And also, of course, Baba Nyonyas have got friends like Tunku Kudin and Syed Alatas, whom actually Syed Alatas married a Chinese wife. And then the one at the bottom is Jawi, Peranakan Jawi Boutique Hotel by Chris Ong again. So this was the world, And not forgetting the nice villas up the hill. So this is a bungalow in Penang Hill. And then, okay, look, there is another villa besides the Penang Hill one. This one is a bit on the hill, but not too much on the hill. It's in Relau. And this is the Relau Villa. And this is what I can find of the photos left. It had a big swimming pool. And it is said that the owner, when he wants to swim in the morning, he had all his servants with a lot of kettles on fire. And then they fill up the swimming pool to warm up the water. And look at the pillars. They are like Roman pillars. So it was like dubbed as a Roman villa kind of thing. So the owner is Chung Taiping. And Taiping, of course, was a very, the son of Chen King Kui, who is the owner of who was the original owner of Pinang Peranakan Mansion. Now, he was very widely traveled, and he actually went to, those days in England, the rich sons of the wealthy people, they will go on this grand tour, particularly to Italy and whole of Europe, to look at the architecture and the arts. And he did that too. And so they think that that's how he got the idea to build Roman villa. Next is Pinang Peranakan Mansion. So that is the son, Chung Taiping. Now the father owned this house, uh, Pinang Peranakan Mansion, which originally he built it, but the land originally did not belong to him. It belonged to his enemy, the Gihins. And his daughter was married here. So this is our front door, which I was standing at earlier today, this morning when you saw me on the first slide. Okay, so Chung Taiping, a Chinese palace. Look at the people of Penang. Now this guy, Chung Taiping, the son of Chung King Kui, original owner of Pinang Peranakan Mansion, Chung Taiping was as Baba as you can get. But his mother was Fu Ting Yong, so I don't know whether she's a Baba Nyonya. But he was so Anglophile. He is definitely a Straits Chinese. He is a Straits Chinese in all, with stables of horses and flying biplanes and traveling and open dock cars. And he built himself a palace. And this is the palace, this one, that says that Queenie Chang wrote in a book that she was she went underground to a room downstairs, and she looked up and she saw fishes swimming up in the dome roof. And she said that time she was a little girl, and she said that it was built out in the sea and the fishes were swimming there. But I have another theory, which you have to wait one more year to listen to when I get back for the interior of houses. Okay, so that's his palace. And don't forget, after me, there is Norman Cho coming up, and you mustn't miss his talk, as well as look the other speakers today. So all these are going to be fun. I know they are fun individuals, so they're going to give a good presentation. Yeah, and so thank you very much, Kamsia, and I am Lillian Tong, and thank you for joining us this morning.
Wow, wow, wow. What a wonderful presentation. That was amazing. I mean, there's
I was
so
really
much to
enamored by
see.
all the buildings and the experience. Yes, definitely.
Yeah, come to
Yeah.
Penang,
You
come
can
to
never
Penang.
feel shortchanged when you go to Penang. Coming,
I
very soon, very soon.
I can just wander around Penang the streets and just enjoy the outdoor scenery of all the architecture that's available over there. It's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
amazing. It's a
It can
wonderful
be.
experience.
Come, I'll take you on a walking tour.
Okay,
I'm,
I'll
I'm
put on my
a
walking
I'm a
shoes.
licensed. I'm a Malaysian Ministry of Tourism licensed tour guide.
Wow, I
I'll
got a
take you on a
datuk to
walking
bring
tour.
us, bring us around.
I want food
On
tour
a
too.
treasure,
Food, got,
we go on a
got
langcha.
Actually part of the
food.
tour.
I think Cedric mau makan only lah.
Yeah, yeah.
Of course, I live to eat. Sorry, I mean,
Silah.
but
Okay,
it was a
that
really
was
wonderful presentation.
yeah.
Yeah, Lillian.
That was a wonderful presentation, Lillian. I think everybody will be so excited to look out for all these things that you mentioned when they visit Penang. In fact, in Malacca as well, you can see a lot of such buildings around. It's just whether we are aware of it. Betul tak?
Yeah, but
Also in
I
Singapore.
think we must also thank the Penang Heritage Trust for spearheading this all these conservation efforts. Yeah, without
Yeah.
such bodies, I don't think Penang can actually withhold all these developments. Yeah,
Yeah, Penang
Yeah.
well done.
Heritage Trust, Georgetown World Heritage Incorporated, and Tan Yao Wei. All these materials is taken from his book that helped me to find the other styles.
Okay.
Next
I
time,
think that's
recommend
all.
the book so that we all can read. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Sorry,
I think that's all the
Alvin.
time we
Sorry, Tom.
have. Yeah, because we're having so much to share today, and we're also getting ready for the next segment at 2 p.m. We're going to have Norman Cho. So for those of you who are here online with us, do click on to the next link to join the next broadcast that's happening at 2 p.m. So it's now my pleasure to thank Dato Lillian Tong for doing such a wonderful presentation, and of course supporting us this couple of years as well, doing all your wonderful
And
presentations.
to you for having this festival so many years, especially during COVID time. to
Yes.
keep us, the community together and meeting up and getting fresh ideas
Yeah, and we're looking
and
forward for
learning.
your presentation next year where we go inside the building.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and of course, thank you, my co-host Cedric, for helping us out in this program, and of course,
My
he'll be joining
pleasure.
us for the rest of the day. Okay, so thank you so much. This has been virtually Peranakan Fest. We hope that you enjoyed the program. Do follow our Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you get all the latest updates. So our next program happening at 2 p.m. is Heritage Alive at Rumah Baba Norman by Norman Cho. So we'll see you then. Bye bye.